Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so today we're looking at a massive paradigm shift that's pretty much rewriting the rules of software as we know it. We're officially leaving behind that era where building an app meant you had to be part of some exclusive, highly funded club. Instead, visual development and AI, they're democratizing creation for absolutely everyone. And I mean everyone, from that solo indie founder working out of a corner coffee shop all the way up to multinational corporate enterprises.
Think back, honestly, just a few years ago. If you had a killer idea for a software product, what was the very first hurdle? The cost, right? The old assumption was you needed a massive development budget, easily floating around that $100,000 mark, and a sprawling 6-month timeline just to get a basic minimum viable product off the ground. But does that old assumption actually hold up today?
Not even close. We're going to absolutely shatter those old assumptions right now. According to the latest 2026 data from IdeaProof, you can validate an idea in exactly 120 seconds for literally $0. You heard me right. 2 minutes, zero budget. The barriers to entry haven't just been lowered here, they've been completely obliterated.
So, here's our roadmap for The Explainer today. We'll quickly cover 1. The no-code revolution, 2. Top tools for 2026, 3. The enterprise low-code shift, 4. Global adoption and trends, and finally, 5. The rise of citizen developers.
Section 1. The no-code revolution. Let's dive right into this and explore how the traditional 6-month development timeline is basically vanishing before our eyes. What we're witnessing right now is the ability to build production-ready applications in days instead of months. And get this, without writing a single line of code yourself. AI-powered platforms and visual builders are allowing non-technical founders to just launch full web and mobile apps almost instantly. You don't need to spend months agonizing over React, Python, or SQL just to build something highly functional and scalable anymore. The tools have actually evolved to understand what you want to build simply by how you describe it. It's like magic, but it's real.
Section 2. Top tools for 2026. Let's look at the exact toolkit making this revolution possible. Because look, with over 200 tools out there on the market today, knowing your stack is half the battle.
When you contrast the approaches available today, a really clear picture starts to emerge. On one hand, you've got rapid AI tools like Lovable. It's incredibly easy to use and can literally get you to revenue in days for, just $20 a month? Now, contrast that with heavy-duty SaaS builders like Bubble. Bubble is an absolute powerhouse for complex marketplaces for sure, but it has a much steeper learning curve, and the pricing definitely scales up as your traffic grows. You've also got Webflow and Framer dominating the interactive website space, while Flutterflow takes the absolute crown for advanced mobile apps. But here is the major shift for 2026. The biggest advantage of these top-tier tools today? They actively prevent vendor lock-in. Tools like Lovable and Flutterflow, they aren't just building visual wrappers anymore, they generate real exportable code. Lovable creates full React and Supabase apps straight from natural language prompts, while Flutterflow exports actual Flutter and Dart code for mobile. And hey, for the technical founders out there, AI-native editors like Cursor are speeding up traditional coding workflows by a factor of 10. Bottom line, you own the code. You get no-code speed, but with full code flexibility.
Moving on to Section 3, the enterprise low-code shift. Let's see how this whole movement graduates from the startup garage to the corporate boardroom. Because this definitely isn't just a toolkit for scrappy startups anymore.
Transitioning over to the enterprise, massive global corporations are adopting these exact same principles to completely rewire their IT infrastructure. According to a massive 2025 KPMG survey, we're talking over 2,000 IT and business executives across Europe, the US, and Asia Pacific. Digital transformation is pushing major organizations to adopt low-code platforms at an entirely unprecedented scale. They're facing immense pressure to innovate quickly. And let's face it, traditional development is just way too slow and way too expensive to keep up.
The scale of this trend is massive. 37% of companies have now made low-code a essential component of their software development strategy. That's up from just 20% a couple of years ago. It's no longer some fringe IT experiment. It is the core engine driving corporate software development today.
But check this out. Notice how adoption splits based on how digitally mature a company is. A staggering 64% of digital leaders, those are the companies heavily investing in digital transformation, are aggressively using low-code. Compare that to just 14% of companies with normal digital maturity. The most advanced players are using this tech to drive agility, ditch their dependency on specialized developers, and completely outpace their slower competitors. Basically, if a company isn't adopting low-code right now, they are actively falling behind the curve.
Section 4. global adoption and trends. So, a really crucial part of this story is understanding how different parts of the world are utilizing this strategic shift, because the approach, it's definitely not uniform globally.
We see a truly fascinating regional divide in that KPMG data. The US and Asia-Pacific regions are leading the charge, with adoption rates hovering around 41 to 43%. They are hyper-focused on speed, innovation, and process efficiency. They just want to get to market faster, right? On the flip side, Europe has a much more measured adoption rate of 29%. European companies often have more established legacy systems and operate in way stricter regulatory environments, so their approach is naturally cautious. They prioritize stability and risk management over sheer speed. Oh, and interestingly, regions like Africa are also seeing massive efficiency gains, up to 58%, as they use low-code to completely leapfrog older legacy IT infrastructures.
But regardless of geography, one thing is absolute across the board. 85% of enterprise respondents cite security as their top priority when choosing a low-code platform, closely followed by ease of integration. So despite this incredible need for speed, security remains the absolute non-negotiable priority for corporate integration. You can't just build fast, you absolutely have to build safe.
Section 5. Rise of Citizen Developers. This brings us to the ultimate bridge connecting the solo founder and the corporate analyst, the actual human element driving all this change.
Enter the citizen developer. Now, this is a totally new class of worker. They don't have computer science degrees, and their job title definitely isn't software engineer. They might be a marketing manager, an HR specialist, or a business analyst. But by using these visual, drag-and-drop environments, they are suddenly empowered to create complex applications and automate workflows all by themselves. They're solving their own operational problems without having to wait, 6 months in some IT ticketing queue for someone else to build a solution for them.
And the impact? It's massive. By empowering non-technical staff to actually build solutions, companies are reporting a 52% improvement in process efficiency, alongside just huge boosts to service quality and employee productivity. These empowered citizen developers aren't just making slight incremental upgrades, they are single-handedly driving a massive productivity renaissance across their entire organizations. Now, what happens when you combine the citizen developer movement with the AI explosion? Well, as highlighted in the report's introduction, the true catalyst accelerating all this digital transformation is AI. The convergence of artificial intelligence and low-code platforms is supercharging these productivity gains. AI doesn't just make coding faster anymore, it actually makes visual building smarter. You can now prompt an AI to design a workflow, generate a database schema, or build a sleek user interface right inside your low-code platform. It's a total game changer. And honestly, the adoption numbers here are just staggering. 38% of enterprises are already using or planning to use AI within their low-code environments today. And another 40%, they're starting within the next 12 months. That means nearly 80% of enterprises will completely merge AI with low-code by next year. It is literally the ultimate force multiplier for speed and agility. The Idea Proof report perfectly summarizes this whole landscape. These tools generate real, exportable code from natural language, giving you no-code speed with full code flexibility. Think about what that means. Whether you're a solo entrepreneur with $20 validating an idea from your couch, or a digital leader at a multinational corporation streamlining global logistics, the barrier between having a great idea and actually shipping a product has effectively vanished.
So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. The tools are free, the code is generated for you, and even the old corporate gatekeepers are adopting these exact same platforms. So in this rapidly accelerating new era, will you simply remain a consumer of software? Or will you step up, become a citizen developer, and start shaping the future yourself? The choice is entirely in your hands. Thanks for joining me, and keep learning.